In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the staggered half treble or the staggered half double if you're in the US. Really lovely simple stitch. It's a one row repeater pattern, meaning it's the same on the front as it is on the reverse. It's quite a nice dense stitch, not too many holes. You can see my hand through a little bit, but it really is quite a nice thick warming stitch to use, and as the name suggests, it uses half trebles. So let's have a look at the tutorial. For this tutorial I'm using a DK yarn, double knit yarn. I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook. You can use any weight yarn you like with the corresponding size crochet hook. I have scissors to cut off my end, needle to sew in my end, and a stitch marker just in case I need one. So this pattern is worked in rows, therefore we're going to need a foundation chain. So make a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And our foundation chain needs to be made in odd numbers. So I'm going to go up to 33 for my foundation chain today. You can make your foundation chain as wide as you would like it to be. So we need to yarn over and pull through the loop on our hook. That's 1, yarn over, pull through the loop 2, 3, 4, 5. So pause the video now whilst you make your foundation chain in odd numbers, and I shall see you in a moment. So I've made my foundation chain, and we're now going to work back into the chain, and we're not going to do a row double crochet, we're just going to start the pattern straight away. So we're going in with a half treble, that would be a half double in US terms. So to do that we yarn over, we're going into the third chain from the hook, so we never count the one on the hook. 1, 2, 3. So yarn over, insert into that third chain, yarn over and pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. We're now going to do a half treble 2 together over the next 2 stitches. So to do that we're going to yarn over, insert into the first chain, yarn over and pull through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over again, insert into the next chain, yarn over and pull through. You should have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. Chain 1 to lock your stitch, and then we're going to repeat that. So we're going into the next chain with our half treble 2 together. So yarn over into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5. Chain 1 to lock your stitch, and then we repeat again. So insert into the yarn over, insert into the chain, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5, and chain 1. And we're going to work that way all the way down the row. So we're going to make half treble 2 together over 2 chains all the way till just before the end of the row, and I will show you what to do at the end of the row. So pause the video now. So just come up to my last 2 chains. So what we need to do at the end of the row is do our half treble 2 together over those last 2 chains, chain 1, and then going back into the last chain, we're going in with a half treble just to tidy up the end, because when you make the half treble 2 together, you see how that's sort of pulling to the side there, and if we keep going that way we're just going to end up with our work going off at a diagonal. So we want to make a nice straight side. So yarn over, insert into that last chain again, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that is row 1 complete. Now row 2 is the repeated pattern for the entire piece. It's very similar to this row, but there's one slight change which you'll see in a moment. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and turn our work. And we're going to be working into the chain spaces, so those locking chains at the top of our half treble 2 together are now going to be worked into, and we're going to do half treble 2 together over 2 chain spaces. So we yarn over, find the very first one that should be in line with your chain, insert into the chain space, yarn over and pull through, and we're going to work into the next chain space, so yarn over, insert into the chain space, yarn over, pull through. Again, you should have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 and chain 1. So you can see how those chain 1s are really important, so if you've forgotten them in the previous row you're going to struggle, so you're going to need to go back and change those. Now we're going to do something a little bit different to what we normally do. So normally when we've worked a stitch we move on to the next one, but we're actually going to work back into that stitch, the last chain space that we worked. So we went into the first chain space, into the second chain space, and for the next stitch we're going to go into the second chain space and the third chain space. So we yarn over, insert into that second chain space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the third chain space, yarn over, pull through, again 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 and chain 1. And then we're going to repeat that all the way down the row, so yarn over into the stitch the chain space you've just worked, yarn over and pull through a loop, yarn over into the next chain space, insert, yarn over, pull through, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 and chain 1. So again, yarn over into the chain space you've just worked into, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the next chain space, yarn over, pull through, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops and chain 1. And you're getting a nice sort of knotted effect in the fabric there. So we're just going to keep doing this all the way down the row, so yarn over, insert into the one you've worked into, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the next chain space, yarn over, pull through, 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all 5 and chain 1. So work your way down your chain spaces down the row, and I will join you just before the end of the row. So pause the video now. So I'm coming up to the end of my row. I have 2 chain spaces left and I have a turning chain space. So we're going to do our half treble 2 together in the 2 chain spaces. Then we're going to work into the chain space we've just worked and in between our turning chain and the half treble that's here. So insert into the first space, which is the one we've just worked, yarn over and then insert in between the chain and the half treble, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1, and then we're going to do a half treble in the top of the turning chain, so in the second chain of the turning chain. And that's it. That's the entire pattern now. So we repeat row 2 by chaining 2, turning our work, and then working into that very first chain space and the second chain space with a half treble 2 together, chain 1, and then working into the last chain space we just worked and the next one. Yarn over, pull through all 5 and chain 1, and we just keep working that way until we get to the end of the row. And as we did just now, we work into the last worked space, into the turning chain space, and then we work into that 2 chain at the start of the row with a half treble, just to give us our nice neat edges. So I'm going to work up a few more rows now for you to see how it looks, and I shall see you in a moment. So I made up a few more rows for you to see how it looks. It really is a gorgeous stitch. You get a nice thick fabric, nice dense feel to the fabric. It holds its shape nicely, and it's a really simple, mindful stitch to do. So if you've enjoyed this tutorial today, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help YouTube to show it to other crocheters. And let me know in the comments what you think you might make using the staggered half treble. If you've enjoyed seeing my stitch marker today, this is my little bunny rabbit with a carrot, ideal for Easter or for anybody who just likes kawaii stitch markers. They're available on my website and on my Etsy store. I'll pop a link in the description below for you to have a look at the links for those. I'll pop 2 more videos on the side of the screen over here to help you on your crochet journey, and I shall see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!